Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Greer Industries, improving people's lives for more than a century.
Yeah, thanks, Dick. Got you your latest forecast and update for you on your Tuesday. Yesterday in Charleston, had a high 82, a little bit warmer than average, by 9 degrees, average high 73. We're in between the more favorable rounds of passing rain. You might have had to dodge some soakers early in the day. The rest of your Tuesday, it's a slight chance of an isolated shower and a brief rumble of thunder is possible, with mostly cloudy to overcast skies over the state here today. And then waking up tomorrow morning may impact the morning drive time again. Some showers and chances of thunderstorms going up. Rain likely, chance of thunderstorms through much of Wednesday. We have a cold front west, another surface low coming in from the southwest, and the Storm Prediction Center folks are including most of the state in one of those marginal risks of severe weather. Marginal risk means isolated severe storms are possible, and in this case, brief damaging winds or a brief spin up of a tornado can't be ruled out. We'll keep eyes on that for Wednesday. Fly CRW forecast, it starts at home. Spots like Orlando, 86 today, 92 tomorrow. Tampa heating up again, near 92 or so today. From Panhandle to Panhandle, low to mid-70s to the north. Slight chance of an isolated shower or weak storm today. Better chances of rain and storms with isolated severe potential tomorrow. Eastern areas, low 60s to near 70. Slight chance of a shower and storm today. Across east to west here, near 70 to upper 70s to the west. To southern West Virginia we go. Mid 60s to near 80. Have you near 80 in Huntington for your day today. Charleston, mostly cloudy overcast, 78. Slight chance of an isolated shower and thunder this afternoon. 59, mostly cloudy tonight. Likely showers, chance of a thunderstorm tomorrow with that risk of isolated severe. Slight chance of a shower Thursday. Cooler temps behind a frontal passage. 37 Saturday night. Some patchy frost is listed middle of the weekend. Chance of a shower Friday afternoon. And then rebounding temps next week. Chance of rain on Monday.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
From West Virginia's capital city, with
the same
news
year
from
the first
across
commercial
the state.
flight.
This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law, with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron and Metro News' Dave Allen.
It's a Tuesday afternoon. It's Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. We'll get to Open Line West Virginia coming up at the bottom of the hour. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number, 1-800-765-8255. Or you can text 304-TALK-304. It's Metro News Midday.
Metro News Midday is presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com. Join in by calling 800-765-8255 or text 304-TALK-304. Let's go live to downtown Charleston. Here's Dave Allen.
Tuesday afternoon, and welcome to the show, Metro News Midday. 1-800-765-TALK. That's the phone number. We'll get you your calls and your text, 304-TALK-304, coming up at the bottom of the hour. We're about 1 minute and 49 seconds away from King Charles addressing Congress. And, of course, your national news, we'll have more on that coming up a little bit later on. But first time that royalty, I think, has spoken in front of Congress since Queen Elizabeth did in the early 1990s. And they were showing video of that a little bit earlier of the Queen speaking to Congress. So more on that with your national news coming up. Early voting starts in West Virginia tomorrow. 10 days of early voting. Election Day, primary election day, coming up on Tuesday, May 12th. Polls that day will be open for Election Day, 6:30 a.m. till 7:30 p.m. all across the great state of West Virginia. And this gentleman is hoping that you will choose him to be your next U.S. Senator, at least for now, make it through the primary election. And that is current state senator who wants to be U.S. Senator Tom Willis. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Dave. Thanks for having me on the show again. Great to be with you.
And we apologize for last week, and I want to give a big shout out to the folks with your team because we had you scheduled to be on the show last week, and that's when we had the chemical situation in Charleston, and obviously had to reach out to Susan and say, look, we're going to have to postpone, and you guys were very, very accommodating in that. You understood the seriousness of the situation and why we had to postpone you a little while, but I just want to say thank you to you and your team for allowing us to do that, because it was breaking news, sir, as you well understand.
Oh, yeah. I was in Charleston at the time, and so I completely understood. And yeah, our thoughts and prayers are with the families that were affected in that tragedy. So completely understand and happy to be back on this week.
Absolutely. So, give us your bio. I mean, everybody knows that you're in the state senate, but there may be people that don't know Tom Willis. Give me the away from political bio of Tom Willis.
Well, I think that the first thing that folks are interested to learn about Tom Willis is that I've been serving West Virginia already for 26 years, and that's in the West Virginia National Guard in uniform. I joined in 2000, and I've been serving West Virginia ever since. I've done flood duty all over our great state, from Wheeling, up in the north, all the way down south, and everywhere in between. And I've served all over the world in the West Virginia National Guard, and it's been an honor. So, like you said, I'm also in the state senate. I'm a West Virginia business owner, so I have a real estate contractor license, and I'm an attorney and own a law firm with a couple of offices. And then on the more personal side, Sarah and I love raising our kids in West Virginia. I'm a Christian family man. We love our community. We love our church. We love our schools, our Little League, and I just love raising our kids in West Virginia. And we want to have our grandkids raised in West Virginia too. And I'm sure all your listeners agree with me that that's the goal. We're trying to make it so that people stay. There's jobs, there's opportunity, and people are moving to our state.
Why did
that's
you?
What we're fighting for.
Why again? We're talking with Tom Willis, who's running for as a Republican for U.S. Senate. Why did you run for state Senate to begin with? In other words, why did you get involved in this realm of public? You said you've been serving the state of West Virginia. Thank you for your service, by the way. But why did you choose the political theater, if you will?
Well, I think that as I wind down my military career, I still have a heart to serve my fellow West Virginians. A lot of folks don't know my personal story, and you asked about it just a second ago. I'll elaborate just a little bit. But I lost my first wife to cancer. I also lost about 10 years later my oldest son to cancer. And so when you go through things like that, Dave, you understand that if you're still here and you're walking and breathing, it's because there's a purpose for your life. And the purpose for my life is to serve my fellow West Virginians. And I've known that from an early age, and that's why I joined the West Virginia National Guard, and I still have a heart to serve. And so it was about a couple of years ago, some folks started talking to me about the former lieutenant governor, Senate president, and that there really needs to be a change, that there was a departure from some of our traditional West Virginia family values. And it took me a while to decide to go into the race, but folks kept asking. We prayed about it. Eventually we felt like, we were called to do it. And so we did, and we made national news. We won. We beat the lieutenant governor by 12 points in my last race. And Lord willing, we'll make national news again this time when we beat Shelley Moore Capito for U.S. Senate.
You talked about, you said that in that race that you wanted to get back to traditional West Virginia family values. Expound upon that. What do you see as traditional West Virginia family values, sir?
Yeah, so this is an area where a lot of folks don't realize, Shelley's voting record. So just a couple of examples. So, for instance, traditional marriage, one man, one woman. Shelley voted to repeal that. She has been pro-choice, pro-abortion most of her political career. She says she's pro-life for purposes of this election, but we know for sure that she voted to keep funding for Planned Parenthood, to use your taxpayer dollars and mine, and for abortion. She skipped the vote to keep boys out of girls' sports, and she voted for funding for red flag gun confiscation in violation of your Second Amendment rights and mine. So those are a couple of examples, and there's a long list. But when folks learn about her voting record, and I go across the state, they agree with me. It's time for a change.
If the voters choose to replace Senator Capito, either with you or one of her or someone else, whether it's now or it's in the fall or whatever, West Virginia would be losing, I think, what the fourth ranking, highest ranking official in Washington. Do you see that as a problem?
Well, I think, Dave, what you need to do in any organization is you pick the best people. You elect the best people, the best leaders. So folks said the same thing in my last race. If we elect Tom Willis over the Senate president, we'll lose representation and power. But what happened? So I beat the Senate president. I became the fastest person in the history of the state Senate ever to be appointed to the powerful committee chair of the Judiciary Committee. So we made state history in that regard, and became part of the leadership team in the Senate, and immediately had an impact because the people from Berkeley, Morgan, Hampshire picked the best leader. So in any organization, this is leadership 101 from special operations in the military and from business. You pick the best people, and then you watch them get to work. And that's what we need to do for West Virginia, and why I'm not concerned about that.
I know you've been crisscrossing West Virginia doing a lot of campaigning. I know, as you said, you were in Charleston last week when we had the chemical incident here, and you've been all over the state of West Virginia. As you are traveling West Virginia, sir, what do you hear from people on the campaign trail? Yeah,
Dave, I hear a lot of things. Certainly I talk to a lot of seniors, and they're worried, is Social Security secure? Is Medicare secure? And I tell them it is with me. This is a difference between Shelley and me. She's on record saying that we can't, send all the illegal aliens back. And I think that we should, because they're a threat to our welfare system. They're a threat to our Medicare, Medicaid system, our Social Security system, and we can't let that create insolvency for our seniors. I hear all about infrastructure all across the state. And in a lot of cases, Dave, the federal government has helped cause the problem. So it's not just a county problem, but when you have a federal government that's allowing companies to dump steel, and then we lose jobs in the northern panhandle, or to attack our coal industry with Obama's EPA war on coal, and it decimates coal jobs and population in the southern part of the state, I think it's totally fair game that the federal government should come in and help with the infrastructure costs. Because without roads and good water and sewer, we can't have economic development. And the other thing I hear all across the state is just get the cost of living down. Mm-hmm. And so we've got to reduce the size and burden of government on West Virginia taxpayers, cut regulations, and fight against socialism, make sure we've got free market capitalism, so that we've got the most affordability and the highest accessibility for West Virginians across all sectors.
People, again, we're talking with State Senator Tom Willis, who's running for U.S. Senate in the primary. No matter which side of the aisle you're on, Tom, in Washington, most people would use a statement like Washington is broken. There seems to be a stalemate on just about everything. I'm got the TV on right now, and I got Democrats, they're yelling about something that President Trump did, or it could in 30 seconds be vice versa. If West Virginians choose to send Tom Willis to Washington, how will you work through all that?
Well, I've got a good track record of working across the aisle in the state Senate. And so, I would regularly have lunch with the Democrats and the state Senate, and we would work together and talk together on legislation. Now, I almost always disagreed with them, but every now and then they would have a good idea that would help me tweak a bill, and they would force me to make sure that I really believed what I was positing. And I would take that sort of professional approach to Washington, D.C., but at the same time stand strong and firm for conservative values and fight for those. But Dave, I also think that right now we're in a battle for the heart of our nation, and so there's really two roles I see as a U.S. Senator. One is make good conservative votes, represent West Virginia, and fight for West Virginia's best interest. That's a given. But I also think you have a platform when you're a U.S. Senator, and that you need to wade in to the public discourse, especially when we're talking about things that are threatening our country, like socialism and Sharia law and things like this. Affecting the public discourse, I think, is also part of leadership and part of the responsibility of being a U.S. Senator.
President Trump, sir, is very, very popular in West Virginia, as you well know, and he has said in the past that he is endorsing Senator Shelley Moore Capito. Are you disappointed by that decision, sir?
Well, a couple things on that, Dave. Mm-hmm. So that happened before I entered the race, and I'll tell you what I'm disappointed about. So this all happened around negotiations for Shelley's vote on the Big Beautiful Bill. And there were some states that got carve-outs for their citizens, like Alaska and Hawaii got carve-outs in the Big Beautiful Bill to help their states. What did West Virginia get? Well, apparently we negotiated for an endorsement from Trump and then also to have her son appointed as the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District. And so instead of fighting for West Virginia families, it seems like she fought for her own family, and then she voted to confirm her own son, but then told everybody in West Virginia that was not a conflict of interest. And so I beg to differ, and I'm going to predict that the voters are going to beg to differ when they go to vote on May 12th.
Why, anytime I interview a candidate, sir, I always give them what I call the final 30, and it's not timed, so you just take your time. But why should someone choose to vote for Tom Willis in the primary election coming up on May 12th?
Well, I believe I'm the best candidate, Dave, across the board. So I'm the only candidate that has military experience. I would be the only veteran in our congressional delegation. I'm the only candidate that brings business experience. I own several businesses. I know how to balance a budget. I know how to create jobs because I've done it. That differentiates me from Shelley and any other candidate. And then I have political experience as well. So I have the full gamut to best represent West Virginia and get things done for our state. And so I'm offering West Virginia a conservative alternative to Shelley Moore Capito on May 12th. She has an F rating for conservative voting from CPAC, Heritage Action, FreedomWorks. And then Tom Willis, I have a 100% conservative voting rating from Make Liberty Win. So there's a clear alternative here, and I'm the conservative option. And I'm asking folks to vote for me on May 12th. The polls are in. This is a two-person race. It's between Tom Willis and Shelley. And so I'd ask folks, please don't waste a vote on any third-party candidate. And if we come together, we can win. And I think that West Virginia agrees with me. It's time for a change.
Where can people learn more about your campaign? You want to give us a website or social media or something, or all the above?
Yeah, it's really easy to remember. Thanks, Dave. TomWillis.com. You can see my full bio, see my policy positions, some photographs from my military and media experience, et cetera. And volunteer, donate, TomWillis.com. We'd love to have you join our team. Tom
Willis, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thanks a lot, and best of luck to you.
Thank you, Dave. Take care now.
Absolutely. 221, Foam at the Dome is back for its 10th year. Come join some of your favorite radio stations. Foam at the Dome presented by Encova Insurance coming up Saturday, May 9th in Charleston. Enjoy craft beer samples from West Virginia and beyond, live music on 2 City National Bank stages, and several food and artisan vendors, too. All happening on Kanawha Boulevard in front of the Capitol Dome here in just a couple of weeks. VIP early access starts at 3 in the afternoon. And it's $55, general admission $45. You can reserve your ticket today at foamcwv.com. Again, it's foam and the letter CWV.com. Foam at the Dome, a fundraiser produced by Charleston Urban Works. We'll be talking more about that as we get a little bit closer. I want to talk to you, though, coming up at the bottom of the hour, via text, via phone call. You can call me on Open Line West Virginia, 1-800-765-TALK, 1-800-765-TALK. That's 1-800-765-8255. Or text 304-TALK-304. We'll take a break and come back after this.
If you have a child who's a junior in high school in West Virginia or know someone that does, please listen up. Here's your opportunity to win a full scholarship from West Virginia Wesleyan College that includes room, board, tuition, and fees. The 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program is presented by ZMM Architects and Engineers and the West Virginia Farm Bureau. The deadline is May 3rd. For details, go to WVMetroNews.com to apply. That's WVMetroNews.com. Remember, application deadline is May 3rd.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? A lot of times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Looking for a show that talks about everything? You found it.
By the way, I'm really happy to talk about this as opposed to Ryan's opinion that being a sports fan is a bad thing.
He said that it kept him from being stressed about it, not that it was a bad thing, that they didn't have the stress. And, I mean, I've seen you pace.
Yeah, you're only 30 and you look like that.
So true. So
Join Dave Weekly and Coop weekdays for Hotline on Metro News Television.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Welcome back to the show. 2:26 on a Tuesday afternoon. Metro News Midday powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Ryan Nichols and Stephanie Pauly. Our producers today will get to Open Line West Virginia coming up at the bottom of the hour. 1-800-765-TALK. That's the phone number you can text. 304-TALK-304. Stop me if you've heard this before. James Comey's been indicted. Breaking news right now. Federal grand jury in North Carolina has indicted former FBI Director James Comey over a controversial Instagram post from last year that the president and members of the Trump administration claimed was a threat against said president. ABC News reporting that renewed efforts are underway to prosecute one of the president's longtime adversaries. Department of Justice prosecutors brought the case after a judge last year threw out an indictment against Comey on unrelated charges. Now, the new indictment centers on a controversy that erupted nearly a year ago when Comey, in a post that has since and almost immediately was deleted from Instagram, shared a picture showing the numbers 8647 written in seashells on the beach with the caption, "Cool shell formation on my beach walk." Now, of course, this citing the slang meaning of 86, as into nix, get rid of, et cetera, et cetera. You know. Allies of the president alleged that the post was a veiled threat against President Trump, and the Department of Homeland Security and Secret Service quickly launched an investigation into the post. Now, Comey's attorneys did not have immediate response to the news in the indictment when reached by ABC News. CNN was the first to report that an indictment had been handed up. Now, legal experts, of which I am not one, will likely face a high legal bar to prove that the Instagram post constituted a true threat. Now, this is not me saying this. This is what most legal experts are saying. The Supreme Court, 2023, found that requiring that showing an individual understood their message would be perceived as threatening, with the phrase 8647 increasingly being adopted by protesters of the Trump administration. The case could carry sweeping indictment implications for the First Amendment, according to some legal experts at ABC News cites in their post, which you can read for yourself. But again, James Comey has been indicted for a second time now based on that Instagram post. Seashells. He's been indicted in North Carolina, walking along the beach. He posted it on Instagram and then deleted it with the seashells looking very much like 8647. And so he's been indicted now. It's going to be, I'm not taking a side either way. I'm just saying that's going to be very tough to try to prove that as an actual threat. Whether it was or not, I don't know intent, but it's going to be very tough from a First Amendment standpoint to show that as a actual threat. But could be done. Stranger things have happened. Coming up on 2:30, Open Line West Virginia, 1-800-765-TALK, 1-800-765-8255, or you can text 304-TALK 304. We will take a break. We'll get to your phone calls and texts. We've already got a bunch of them to get to. Looking forward to hearing from you on Open Line West Virginia, which we will do momentarily. Metro News Midday, produced by Stephanie Pauly and Ryan Nicholson. We will take a break and come back after this.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Greer Industries, improving people's lives for more than a century.
Yeah, thanks, Joe Dig. Got you your latest forecast and update for you on your Tuesday. Yesterday in Charleston, had a high 82, a little bit warmer than average by 9 degrees, average high 73. We're in between the more favorable rounds of passing rain. You might have had to dodge some soakers early in the day. The rest of your Tuesday, it's a slight chance of an isolated shower and a brief rumble of thunder is possible, with mostly cloudy to overcast skies over the state here today. And then waking up tomorrow morning may impact the morning drive time again. Some showers and chances of thunderstorms going up. Rain likely, chance of thunderstorms through much of Wednesday. We have a cold front west, another surface low coming in from the southwest, and the Storm Prediction Center folks are including most of the state in one of those marginal risks of severe weather. Marginal risk means isolated severe storms are possible, and in this case, brief damaging winds or a brief spin up of a tornado can't be ruled out. We'll keep eyes on that for Wednesday. Fly CRW forecast, it starts at home. Spots like Orlando, 86 today, 92 tomorrow. Tampa heating up again, near 92 or so today. From Panhandle to Panhandle, low to mid-70s to the north. Slight chance of an isolated shower or weak storm today. Better chances of rain and storms with isolated severe potential tomorrow. Eastern areas, low 60s to near 70. Slight chance of a shower and storm today. Across east to west here, near 70 to upper 70s to the west. To southern West Virginia we go. Mid 60s to near 80. Have you near 80 in Huntington for your day today. Charleston, mostly cloudy overcast, 78. Slight chance of an isolated shower and thunder this afternoon. 59, mostly cloudy tonight. Likely showers, chance of a thunderstorm tomorrow with that risk of isolated severe. Slight chance of a shower Thursday, cooler temps behind a frontal passage. 37 Saturday night, some patchy frost is listed middle of the weekend. Chance of a shower Friday afternoon. And then rebounding temps next week. Chance of rain on Monday.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century. In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened.
If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
I always said I was going to move to a mountain in Tucker County, but probably going to put a data center on it, so I got to find a new plan.
Oh, you did not.
Oh, I did. Told you I was a little grumpy today.
Oh, man, you got some zingers today, Dave. I love it.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talk Line. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com. With Metro News Hotline, if it's trending, it's probably here.
And then the other thing, his last name is one of those weird Norwegian names where they have two vowels that slam into each other. It's like the A and the E are like cemented into each other.
You're like the 12th Dave that works here. What do you think people from New Orleans would think about that?
That is fair.
Join Dave Weekly and Coop weekdays for Hotline on Metro News Television.
This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com.
Welcome back to the show. 26 minutes away from 3 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon. Introducing the all-new Metro News television weather. Metro News meteorologist Brian Hughes on your radio, and his team of meteorologists are all over your connected screens giving you the latest weather updates. Join us for our new venture, Metro News television weather, available exclusively on Metro News Television. Download it today. So the king, and it's, as somebody who grew up in the 70s and 80s, it's hard for me to wrap myself around saying King Charles. No disrespect to Chuck, but I'm just saying, to me, it's Prince Charles, and it's what it's always been. But he has ascended to being a king now. I'm just wondering, he's supposed to speak to Congress about any moment now. If he were to be confused, if he were to roll into the nation's capital, where he's been, and see that there's signs saying there's a No Kings rally, I mean, would he somehow be confused by that? I'm just saying. Governor Morrissey, earlier today, we brought you some of that press conference that he did live in St. Albans with the folks over at Triton in St. Albans. He talked about about repairing roads and so on and so forth, and he did say that every pothole would be filled by the end of May. Now, as I put on X and on social media, he did not specify what May, the specific year. I'm just saying, he said that's a pretty big promise there, Governor, that every pothole would be repaired by the end of May in West Virginia. But he did not say the year. Just saying. 25 minutes away from 3 o'clock. Let's get to your text. You can text me 304-TALK-304. You can call 1-800-765-TALK. First text of the day says, Dave, that's me, and at least 4 other people in the company. FCC wanting to take people off the air for using their First Amendment right. Now they're attacking Kimmel again. Let's go after Trump for saying things he has said on the air. I'm sure by now you've read about this. You've seen it about the comments that that comedian Jimmy Kimmel said. Look, I am a First Amendment absolutist. Anybody that knows me knows that. I will fight to the death for you to say whatever you want to say. But I will say that does not make you immune from the consequences thereof. I have the First Amendment right to go on this microphone and say anything I want, but the people that run this here company have every right to escort me and all my Dallas Cowboy memorabilia right outside the door. All right? First Amendment right? Yes. But so I don't know what's going to happen in this situation. I know I heard the joke that he said, and the Kimmel has come out and said he was not talking about actual safety. He was talking about the age of the president as compared to First Lady Melania Trump. That's what he was talking about, not the actual physical harm or something to the president. I just say this, that if, in my opinion, and he did not ask me for my opinion, but if the president would stop taking himself so seriously and learn to laugh a little bit at himself, as did Barack Obama, as did Ronald Reagan, as did Bill Clinton, going on down the line, I think he would just be a whole lot better off. And I think I mentioned this on the local show in Charleston. I was flipping through the channels Saturday morning, and some show was on one of the news channels. I don't even know what it was. And a guy was this was before the incident happened at the White House press dinner. This guy hosting the show was giving the president advice. And one of the things is, Mr. President, thank you for going to this. Now learn to laugh a little bit. Learn to not take yourself so seriously. And I know that may be naive. There'll be Trump supporters who are saying, well, the guy's, nearly been assassinated 3 times. How can you laugh? And and there is something to be said for that. I completely understand that. But I just think that if we would just learn to loosen up, and that means you, Mr. and Mrs. Republican, that means you, Mr. and Mrs. Democrat, learn to laugh a little and loosen up. Almost said a bad word that would have got me fired. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. Text says we need more potholes filled here in Morgantown. We need new roads. We need more than potholes filled. Let me tell you about the road to Morgantown. This past weekend, several of us traveled to the University City for the West Virginia Broadcasting Association award ceremony. And I had not been to Morgantown in some time. I left 79 left Taze Valley, I should say, where I live, and my wife and I headed up 79. My God, I was not prepared for how bad the roads were. And look, I have all the respect in the world for our Department of Highways folks, but everywhere you went around the corner, there was a different issue. Left lane closed. Now, right lane closed. In a work zone 55. Well, if you do 55 in the work zone on 79, you're going to get run over and you're going to get the one finger salute, as I did from the car from New York because I was doing like 60. Sorry, State Police. But yeah, it was bad. Everybody, that seemed to be the talk of the broadcasters gathering in Morgantown on Saturday night. Wasn't about the awards. It was about how bad the roads were. It's horrible, horrible. Text says, Mayor Goodwin in Charleston, the turf field at the King Center is great. Can you have the staff of the daycare have the kids remove the gravel off of it? They're letting them throw on it from the playground, trying to preserve the nice work and keep it great. Thank you, says the text. I will make sure that folks at Charleston City Hall get the message. Text says, what? Sharia? LOL. This guy thinks he's better than Shelley Moore Capito. She ain't great, but anybody who's talking about conservatism and Sharia law is not like in touch with me, the average West Virginian. Text says, let me again say Trump derangement syndrome is a real thing. I hear it every day when I listen to this show. Well, I hope you don't think it's from the host because I give opinions, but a lot of what I'm reading are the opinions of people, not me. Not that I'm not a people. Maybe I'm not. Along the same lines of the roads, text says, okay, it's almost May. Snow's over. Can we please get the roads fixed? Text says, Dave, I want to give the city of Charleston their roses. They definitely knocked it out of the park with this year's regatta lineup. I agree. In case you missed the announcement yesterday, you can read about it, wvmetronews.com. Pretty diverse lineup. I mean, everybody from Tonic to Vertical Horizon to Bobby Brown to Bow Wow to Melissa Etheridge, Brett Michaels, former lead singer of Poison, Lita Ford. They did great. They did great. Text says, I wish West Virginia radio was more diverse. Well, I mean, I appreciate the text. You have to tell me exactly what you mean by that. We offer a lot of different opinions on the air, and not all of us agree. So we'll do what we can, but you got to tell us what you're talking about. Text says, Florida guy here, Dave. Why are there no Kings protesters at the White House since a real live action king is there now? It's because they are frauds, fake, and a rent-a mob paid protesters to perform a stunt. This proves 100% it's falsehood, liberal, Democrat. I don't know what that word is. I don't know what you meant to say by that, texter, but I appreciate the text. Text says, can anything be done about these political mailers? Instead of trashing your opponent, here's an idea. Instead of making up lies like they are against some of the good people, how about you just tell us your qualifications? Well, because that's not in the playbook in politics in 2026. We have this, out-of-state money that's coming in and attacking people. I'm not picking sides. I'm just saying it is what it is. And a failure to call said people out, because it's some of the things that I have seen have been absolutely disgusting. And I'm sure there's enough to go around, but yeah. 243. Text says, in Preston County, I-68 eastbound, exit 26, there's a pothole that forms every 2 months religiously. It doesn't matter what they do or how deep they dig the hole and try to repair it. It comes back time after time. The entire section of road needs to be excavated, yet they fall back on costly temporary repairs, which drives me crazy, says the texter. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. It's Open Line West Virginia. Metro News Midday. We're back after this.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? Odd times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
I always said I was going to move to a mountain in Tucker County, but probably going to put a data center on it, so I got to find a new plan.
Oh, you did not.
Oh, I did. Told you I was a little grumpy today.
Oh, man, you got some zingers today, Dave. I love it.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talk Line. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Day.
"13 minutes away from 3 o'clock. Still waiting on King Charles to address Congress. I mean, I don't know. It's like the 250th anniversary is coming up around the 4th of July, man. Let's get this thing on the road. See, Nancy Pelosi's there. If you're worried about how to pay for college, Metro News proudly presents the 19th annual West Virginia Scholar Program. One high school junior in West Virginia get a full ride, folks, to West Virginia Wesleyan. Room, board, tuition, and fees all included. Just simply go over to the website, wvmetronews.com. Hit that Apply Now button. The deadline is May 3rd, 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program, presented by Greer Industries and by the West Virginia Hospital Association. Go to wvmetronews.com and apply today. Application deadline May 3rd. We'll talk to some of the folks from West Virginia Wesleyan coming up on the show tomorrow during the 2 o'clock hour. That deadline is Sunday. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. Text says, you all see Melania Trump crying about Jimmy Kimmel's joke. I can see her reason to be angry, but then I see pictures of Melania with Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein, and then I think, I don't care about Kimmel's joke. Do you? Text says, when I'm prepared to leave this earth for my reward in heaven instead of just dying in a hospital bed, I think I will just plan a fake assassination attempt like Trump did. Much more dramatic that way. Text hashtag justice for John Lucas. Yeah, that's the story. And I know the boys talked about it on Talkline a little bit today. It was a tragic situation here in the Kanawha Valley where a gentleman attempted to flag down an ambulance, and I don't want to say too much, but I don't want to jeopardize anything. But the gentleman ended up losing his life in the whole thing, and there was a rally yesterday in front of the prosecutor's office in downtown Charleston. Friends and family, whatnot, of Mr. Lucas. There's going to be another event, I think, planned Friday night. And the investigation is ongoing. No charges have been filed yet. If charges will be filed, I mean, it takes a lot, to try to get everything lined out. Text says, it was proposed on Talkline today if Morrissey thinks West Virginians are dumb. The answer is yes. Governor Morrissey thinks West Virginians are dumb, and he's right. West Virginians elected a man with the help of his wife who contributed to the flood of opioids across the state. Pretty dumb if you ask me. Text, don't want a data center in your town? Stop using AI, ChatGPT, and Google. It's that simple. Text, remember when Trump encouraged people to riot at the Capitol, then pardon them? Is this the same guy now crying about violent rhetoric? 1-800-765-TALK. Text 304-TALK-304. Text says, love hearing some good news for the coal industry in Wyoming County on your show yesterday. Thanks, Dave. Well, I'm a shill for coal. What the texter said. Text says, gas at $4.09 a gallon now. I thought high gas prices were temporary. Iran is making Trump look like a bumbling idiot. I don't think gas prices are going down anytime soon. Text, early voting begins tomorrow. So here's your reminder to independents that the Republican Party didn't think you were important enough to vote in their primary. We remember that, and we will remember in November, too. Yes, early voting does begin tomorrow across the great state of West Virginia. 10 days of early voting. Primary election day will be on May 12th. Polls open from 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. And a reminder that nobody covers election night like Metro News does. We have folks in all 55 county courthouses on election night. Text said Obama had 11 assassination attempts during his 8 years of presidency. I don't remember this type of media coverage for any of them. Is Trump an attention-seeking drama queen? Yes. Okay, 11 assassination attempts, actual shots fired in public? I mean, maybe I missed something there. To you idiots, says the texter, thinking that Saturday night was staged, do you know how many people would have had to have been complicit in order to pull that off? Text says the bridge is being fixed on I-79 in and around Morgantown. Has to do with that Biden bill, Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. West Virginia had to agree to start all these jobs or lose the money, even if we don't have the people to get them done, says a texter. How many presidents, says the texter, does it take to unite these states? Pray and care for each other, y'all. Points for saying y'all. R.I.P. to David McKinley, says the texter. He was a great man. We needed more West Virginia leaders like him. Text says, Dave, you're an old school guy. Will you be out there bumping and grinding to Bobby Brown at Regatta? The only grinding I'm going to be doing is if I fall flat on my face out there. I will say this about Bobby Brown, though, who is coming to the Charleston Stern Mill Regatta. All those hits, My Prerogative, Don't Be Cruel, Roni, Every Little Step, Out Here on Our Own. I played all those songs when they were new, on record, on 45 records. I've been doing this for way too long. Text says, Dave, to the texter that thinks these thousands of protesters are paid to do so. Yeah, right. No one has that kind of money. It's Americans that aren't happy with things the way they are in America. To the people, says the texter, about whining about the Republican Party not letting independents vote in the primary. You had a chance to switch your party, but now it's too late. If you want to vote Republican, then switch to Republican next time. It's really not that hard. Text, the Greenbrier is a true gem to West Virginia. I really hope someone will take it over and show it the respect that it deserves. 2:53. We'll wrap it up after this.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your App Store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? Odd times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your App Store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown! At peacecorps.gov.
Welcome back to the show. 3 minutes in front of 3 o'clock. Time to close it out. Look who's here. It's our good friend, Mr. Dave Weekly.
We're friends.
How you doing?
We're friends.
How you doing? How you doing? So let me ask you something, all right, Mr. Weekly. All right. So how do you handle it when someone comes up to you in public, whatever, and starts talking to you and you don't remember who they are?
Oh. I kind of nod and try to get along.
Okay, so let me tell you what happened to me today.
Okay.
All right, so I go every Tuesday and Thursday for outpatient cancer treatment. So I am in the cancer center in Kanawha City, and I hope if the guy's listening right now, he's probably going to be upset that I didn't remember his name. I walked out of there, and he said, "Dave, how you doing?" And I shook his hand. Maybe he thought I was you. And I sat down and I started talking to him. And I knew immediately he was from southern West Virginia because he had the accent. All
Okay.
right. So I knew
All right.
he might have been, as we say, from down home. All right. So I knew that. And he mentioned his wife's name. He also was suffering from cancer. We talked about that, old guy stuff.
Right.
We talked about that. And then he got called before I did. I was hoping they would call his name, but they didn't. They came in and they just gave him the the come on, follow me, and I was like, man, I wish I would have said his name.
Are you sure you didn't know he wasn't aware of your on there persona?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. So we go in, and the nurse is leading me in for my treatment, and I said, I know you probably can't do this, but can you tell me what the other guy's name was? And she said, no, I can't. And I said, I figured that with HIPAA. I figured that. I said, okay. I said, I don't know who he is. I said, I remember him. And then so she said, well, I do know he's a retired. And then she told me what his profession was in law enforcement. And immediately I thought, well, hell, he's arrested me at some point. And I did finally, laying there getting radiated, it came to me who the guy was. And I did remember. And to be fair, he has changed a little bit, as we all have. I haven't seen him in about 20 years. And but anyway, so
I wouldn't have brought hospital personnel into the conversation.
Well, I just asked him. I just said, can you tell me? And she said, no, I can't. But I can tell you he was a retired police officer. And so, again, I thought, okay, he's arrested me at one point. But no, he did not. But I apologize to that, and I do then exactly who he was. So there you go.
That's a good story.
All right. It's a sad story, to be honest with you. Hotline's coming up. I'll see you tomorrow. Till then, have fun and love somebody.